This is America here, baby. This is great. I love it. Here we go, baby. I'm going to help you be successful. That's my job. Believe it. I've been doing this 27 years. That's a fact. Disney ESPN ain't going to help you because none of them know the right side. Trust me, they know nothing. Let's kick their ass. They don't know a damn thing about handicap. And I'm coming after you, Disney. I'm the guru. I'm Sportsguru.vegas. That name was earned by picking winners. That's how it works. Make no mistake, I'm here to win. Absolutely, we're here to win, gurus. Absolutely. And I did earn that name, Sports Guru Vegas, and I'm earning it again, right? That's a good thing for me, and I hope a lot of other people. Welcome to my show, Sports Guru Vegas, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, the greatest city in the world. And again, gurus, I'm still, that game was so impactful, that Super Bowl. It's just sticking with me. And I think maybe because it was in our village here, and that means a lot to me. Growing up as a kid, we grew up near LA, Riverside area. Sunnymead was originally, and Moreno Valley now. But that was an hour and change outside of the Coliseum, which I think they played the Super Bowl. The Rams played against the Steelers. I know the Raiders played against the Redskins. I remember that game. I got really shit-faced. That was a good time back then. Uh-oh. Can't hear me. My mic says it's working. Turn your volume up, Mark. So Mark does my technical support from his apartment, from where he lives in the Bay Area. So right now, I have David and Chase. They're with Main Stage. I'm going to share them. They started producing this show with me. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on, givers. All right, Mark. What's up, Mark? I hear you now. Thanks. Yeah. All right. Okay. No, he's not a very good technical. That's crazy, man. And this is why we paid David, right? Oh, gurus, you gotta enjoy life. Just sit back and enjoy it, gurus, because we're winning. We went 6-2 yesterday. We hit a 4-teamer on one side, 2-2, but one of them was juice, mainly the Clippers, so that helps from a financial aspect. So we have a few technical issues. Who cares? We'll get those squared away as we go, gurus. I have a camera angle I got to switch. David's working on that. So we're going to clean it up. But the bottom line, and we talked about this yesterday on the show, the content and what's on the show. That's David's company right here. And they actually did my videos as well. Gurus, the opening video to the show, they produced it. And I have 3 or 4 others they produced. And I show those. If I met you in the casino, we show those. Great job. Chase put those together. And David. And they did a really good job. And I told Chase the other day, I expect to be doing more work with them in regards to that. And they are consultants to the show still, so that helps me as well. Eventually, gurus, we'll be like these cats on television who can't help you win, right? These cast of characters. I got a message from Stephen A. Smith, and he texted me, not personally, of course, but he don't want to talk to Guru. I actually went on their message them on their show because they send me. I follow them on Twitter X, and they send me messages because they know I'm active. Right? I'm just promoting my show, but I'm respectful to their show. They ask a question, I help them answer it, because I'm more qualified to answer it than all of them. Now, as far as X's and O's, I'm not going to say that, gurus. I don't need to say that. My job is to pick winners, and that's what we're doing. But the bottom line is that I'm just as qualified as them as far as talent's concerned, because I shared, and welcome to my new viewers from Twitter and TikTok. I've been promoting to watch the show more, and that's what we're getting more followers that way. I think a show's important. You kind of build a relationship with someone, and I think I've always been intrigued by people that did something different, right? That were unique, right? And I guess you could say my life turned out that way. Right? We're all unique, gurus. I'm not saying that, but I try to find a way to be a little different. Not that I want to be, but I just think it's necessary. So that's what I do, and I've done it for my. So, do you get taught as a kid to become a professional sports bettor and gambler one day? I would say no. I wouldn't probably do that. But is that what happened? Yes. Okay. Well, that's what happened. Not. I'm going to embrace it. Right. I think that's a good thing. I don't think it matters. I think if you find something that you're good at and you can share it with the world, you should. Right? We call that exceptionalism. And not everything that's shared with the world is exceptional, right? We know that. One of the reasons I started this show is we need to change that because they're telling most of these big companies who own these networks, they're telling you what to think and what to feel, right? We're not going to accept that on Guru's show. We're not going to do that. Now, and again, I have comments. Look, I already have one. I'm sure it's probably Mark. Let's see. Yeah, okay, here we'll start. Sorry, Guru. I get to post his apology first, Gurus. I love it. That's great. And now we'll post his pic. Yeah, yeah. Well, we had Nevada last game, Gurus, if you remember. I think it was last Friday or something like that, I believe. Yeah, Friday. I think they played. I believe it was UNL. I'm sorry, San Diego State. Yeah, it was Friday. I believe it was Friday, and close game. It went overtime. Alfred's the coach of Nevada. He used to be at Indiana, and he was for you gurus who are younger. He was a point guard for the Hoosiers when Bobby Knight, again, a person you may not be familiar with, but if you're my age or in your 40s, you and even 30s, about Bobby Knight. He's a legend. Um, but anyway, he's the coach at Nevada, and he's doing a good job there. Gurus, he is, and we won that bet. We needed to because we put that on both tickets, and it ended up helping us hit another round robin. So as you see yesterday, and I want to make some clear. Thanks, Mark, for that. Um, it's very difficult to hit four teamers. And you guys know that. And what do I mean by that? Well, all those games were basically low juice, right? They're mainly, in fact, I have them here. The Sixers minus 110. Spurs, maybe you bought it to like I did, cost you $1.30. And then Southeast Louisiana was, I think, $1.30. And then I added the Wizards yesterday, Gurus, on excuse me. I added them on the videos on TikTok and X because I actually, while I was waiting for information, I got it early enough to put it on the X, the Twitter. And look, you do whatever you want, right? I think if a show isn't important, then why the hell does anyone watch these fools? Because God knows they can't pick winners. So why are we watching them? Well, they entertain us, right? So he sends me a message today, Stephen A, and he's like, who's closer to being the greatest, LeBron to Jordan, or Mahomes to Brady? Now, let me get this straight here. We just played the Super Bowl. And I get it. You want to stay on this topic because you don't want to go to the one ahead of you or the one this evening, which is about basketball. Now, you probably talked about it. I don't watch the show very much. I'm busy doing my own work for my own show. And they're not going to teach me anything. And I know that because I've been doing this for over 25 years. So not that I know everything, I don't, but they're certainly not going to teach me anything. there's other people you can always learn from others, gurus. That's a fact. That the journey to exceptionalism, you should always feel open to that. You don't just become that on your own. You need help. You can't look at all the great people in the world, right? They've always had help to get there. And I'll tell you, if you listen to Brady, and I heard his interview with McAfee. I'm going to go to this round robin here, and we only have one today, gurus, so we have time to go over it. But I want to talk about some things first. We'll get it out, and then we'll go into the games. I know the games are important, but Brady is, when you hear him speak, he speaks not really about himself very much. He really talks about how important it is to have other people help you get to where you're at. you know and again, I can't be global, but I can be global if I share a good message with people and I'm helping them, and I'm saying being positive, and the people are growing. Maybe I'm sure, they're growing in a hopeful way, an excited way. I don't just talk only about sports here, but I think, of course, it's number one, because sports diverts us from this insanity that goes on at times. And as sports fans and gurus, I think you'll agree with me. This is why, one of the reasons I do it, to get away from this stuff. But I love it. I started playing sports when I was as young as I could remember. My brother and I engaged in it, and I love it. It's been a way for us to cope our whole lives from pain or whatever it is you're dealing with, and it helps you get through great times, right? How many great games have you gone to? They create great memories, and they help divert you from nonsense. What I mean by great memories, and I shared that yesterday on the show. We won our bet on the Super Bowl Sunday, and that was good. That's a great feeling. It really is. And I would never trade it. But if you lose that game, I had to remember when I wasn't in, when it wasn't in the game, if you will, when it wasn't decided, when it wasn't, we were behind most of the time later in the game. But I tried to calm myself and say, you know what? This is a great moment. And yes, I need to win this game. Sure, if we don't, I'll be okay. We've been on fire lately. We'll be all right. But I like to win. But I was able to just love it. And that's why we do it. That's what kept me doing it, gurus. Because I'll tell you, you don't have early success when you're doing this. You might have early success, but then you're not going to keep it because you don't know how. So, and that's why I started this show, basically to help people understand how to make it, how to keep it, and how to compete during tough times. We had to compete some weeks just to get us close to getting there. And now we're in a profit position. Now we're in the black. We've been in it, so we've done very well. We hit 6 out of 8 games yesterday, and that's exceptional, gurus. That's another exceptional day. That makes what, 5 in a row almost. Yeah, and we have to embrace that. And you know what? I'm that's I what are you gonna do? You just keep going, gurus. I'm the same person. I shared that to you guys yesterday. I'm the same person, not, but I get more excited. I get more motivated, right? We really love to win, especially at a level like this. And that's why we do it, because this is a feeling we want to hold on to as long as we can. And every day we'll just hit them. We'll just keep putting up positive situations that should give us good outcomes. Yesterday, a couple winners too. The Sixers won outright, and the Spurs. So even in that four-teamer where we talked about that primary bet down to the secondary, which I said is about 10% of your bet yesterday, and that's money. I did pretty good on that. 2-2 on the money line, because I didn't lay with Southeast. I just kept the money line. The Wizards was the loser, but it covered the spread, so who cares? But anyway, that's another positive ticket. They call it the secondary ticket, and that pays even going to hitting those 2 games, paid a very positive return. And that's what we talked about. The other one, I could go into it yesterday. You guys know what it is. You're on the show. You know, here. I'm not going to stay on this very long. But anyway, we went 2-2 on the other one. Gurus, good luck. Check your videos or check the show. And now I didn't release a four-teamer on the show. Okay, I added it to the TikTok and Twitter X because we waited for information, gurus. And I'm gonna, as we evolve, that's gonna be another part of my company, and we'll evolve into that, and I'll be able to help you with that too. So I just want to again stress, again, gurus, we're on a good seam here. We're gonna keep working towards that, and we're here to make a difference, right? We're here to make the whole process better. And I always tell people, if you're winning before you met me, I'll help you win more, right? So you can just win more, and you have been. Or if you're not winning, you're competing and you're winning now. And either way, you're going to win with me, and I'm excited about that. So I want to go into the this round robin today, and I'm glad Mark brought up the Nevada game because that's his. He feels that way. I don't disagree. I'm not disagreeing. Actually, he's probably right, Mark. I have a show to do. Sometimes he can concentrate more than. Yeah, he's probably right, and I will. I do. I will admit I like to come back with teams that I've already won bigger bets with. I feel that the odds makers are maybe off a little bit with them. Excuse me. So we're going to come back with Nevada's in there, and I brought that up because Mark commented on it. Magic at home. Okay, they're playing the Thunder now. The Thunder have an MVP candidate, gurus, right? Alexander, a tremendous player. Tremendous. Oklahoma City. I want to talk about them real quick because this is I'm very impressed by how they built this organization, how quickly they took these homegrown. I like their team, gurus. I do. I do like their team. Miami, though, can compete with this team. I believe they can. And we're getting a decent number. And I checked. It looks like everyone's going to be playing for both sides. I believe roughly. So this could be an interesting game. As far as seeding, I think they're both motivated, obviously, to win. We have a lot of basketball left in the NBA, and we've been doing very well in the NBA. We did have the Clipper loss, but we hit everything else besides that. So we've been on doing extremely well this year. We're winning in the NFL. We're winning in the NBA. We still have time to go in the NBA, so I can't say we won, but it looks pretty good. And we're winning in college hoops. So not too many people, gurus, can make those statements and back them up. And I was telling you on the show when I was out with the fans over the weekend, they all thanked me and said, I'm glad I can look at your videos and see that you really are winning. And that's doesn't take much for them to sign up, and that would be automatic. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm out there too, and if people approach me and they have something to share that I hear people say, Dean, this doesn't cost me anything. That's great. And right now that doesn't, because that's the way we have it structured. I'm a new company. I got to prove myself. After that, we'll figure it out. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe I'll never have to charge for anything. We just keep going. I just want to make enough to be solvent with the company. I'll go in the direction that the investors I work with, we decide on. But for me, this is a show for the people. I'd rather the people, support it but for just by clicking, and then the advertisers will pay me for just having this show. Like I have things in the background I could, add. I have my company name on there. I could add your company name here, and I'm going to do all that, gurus. I got sick with the China virus for about 3 weeks, and the long haul lasted a couple weeks, and all that made it difficult for me to build this show. And that means being out there with the fans, which is really what I love. But I have been able to get out lately, and I'm grateful for that. We had a tough time at times because of how I felt, and it was difficult. And I kept going though, gurus. I never stopped because I just felt I had an obligation to you I made. And I want to actually show an example that you don't give up, gurus. Like, look at me. I didn't have to, Trump says this when he's at a rally. He didn't have to do he doesn't have to run for president. Some people say he does. That's not true. He would be done with this years, or he never had to run. He'd be retired, hanging out. Nobody would care. He'd be a celebrity and not have to go through a lot of this. But that's one of the reasons I support him. I'm going to tell you this because I support people when they don't do something to help others. There is a benefit. I'm not saying there isn't to helping other people, but there should be. There should be a benefit, whatever that may be, as long as it's reasonable. And there's nothing wrong with that, gurus, in my opinion. That's why I support people who don't need to do stuff like this. But do I need to do it? The answer is yes. I need to do it. I need help in addition with my income. Look, I have family and stuff, and I need to make a decent amount of money to have a better life. So why wouldn't I? If I can, I think these numbers are reasonable here. So what we need to do is subscribe. We need to share it, follow it. We need to keep going. We need to keep winning, and we need to just maintain because we have to go global, gurus. This show, it has to make a difference, gurus, because the message out there is not, the motivation is not to help the viewer. ESPN has their own betting app, and I talked to my gurus about this 6 weeks ago. What did I tell you guys? Load it up, and we're going to take their money. They have plenty of it, and we are. We've been now. Last week, we've been on fire, and that pretty much took care of it all. Excuse me. So do that. We're going to get their attention, gurus. That's exactly what we're going to do. And maybe we'll see what happens with the guru. McAfee, he signed his own deal, right? He signed his own deal, so who knows what'll happen. But bottom line, sorry, go over the games. We have Magic we talked about. That's a tough game because I don't believe they're a better team than Oklahoma City. And that number's thin. We call that a thin number. But I do believe they can handle their business. I do. I like that Banco kid. I think he's tough. And they got that Wagner kid from Michigan. And I like their coach, a young, I forgot who he is. And then we're going to go over to Portland because we took the Clippers yesterday, gurus, as you know, and they got their asses kicked, right? We saw that. And I thought they'd be more motivated in that game that they lost to them. And this isn't supposed to be a new team that for the Clippers, but I don't, maybe they're not as good as the Timberwolves. We have to accept that Minnesota's in first place, and they're A-Rod's part owner of that team. So this team they're not playing, and the Clippers have to prove they can play, and they can't so far, gurus. So, and I thought with Harden there, it'd be a different ball game, and it wasn't. We saw that they didn't really play. Just couldn't. I don't think the matchups there. Edwards is a top player in the league, and they couldn't defend him very well. And they struggle against that matchup. I know that happens, gurus, as we all know. And excuse me, gurus. So, but they're on their second game on a back-to-back. Portland's at home. And this game, I'm a little concerned. I'm going to take it, but they have their other guard. He should play. I see the numbers it could be a little high. It's close, screws. I think he'll play. I think his name's Henderson or something. We need him to play to cover this number because Minnesota's a very good team. They don't really have many weaknesses. Good bench. That's why they're in first place. They defend very well. But Portland's been good to us. Remember, we had them against Milwaukee at home. They won outright in that game. And again, these money lines have been helping us in some of these games too, gurus. So we have then we're taking Detroit. Another team that's been helping us win lately. Look at now. You see, they're starting to lower their number a little bit. That's not surprising. But James and Davis, now they have every time I look at these players, they're always questionable, right? And questionable every day. Wouldn't that be nice if we could go to work and be questionable every day? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. I don't have that luxury anymore, gurus. I can't be questionable. I got to be here for you guys. When I was sick a month ago, I would questionably didn't come on a couple of times, and I couldn't. I couldn't. Too hard on me. But most of the time, I was here for you, gurus, and it wasn't always fun. We didn't. We had some tough days when you're not feeling well. And again, I'm not using that as an excuse. The games, it's the moment sometimes. It's where you're at in the season, what's available. You lose a couple, and we did lose a couple games. We should have won about four of them, and you're supposed to win at least half. That makes a big difference, especially in preseason when we didn't have as many games as we do now. But everything's been going fine, Gurus. I'm blessed. I hope I got my cross on today, so here we go, Gurus. Um, and then we have the Pistons are at LA, and they've been covering for us lately, Gurus. Detroit, right? So I have some confidence in this team. I really do. I forgot his name. He went over from the Suns to Detroit this year to coach them, and it takes time, as we see, for the system to kick in. So if you remember, Detroit was on a 26 game losing streak, and they weren't doing it. Their spread record was about even. And then they started, they won a game. And I remember giving that game out. I think it was on a Sunday, on an NFL Sunday. And they won outright. And we had them on the money line. It was a decent bet. They're getting like 9 at home or 8. We didn't have a lot on it because, you're waiting for I was about 20% I put on that. And they won. And that changed things. And if you go back to that game, Gurus, you can see that they've changed as a team since then. They become like a normal team, but they cover. They've been helping us hit tickets, Gurus. So we're going to come back with them. I think they lost earlier to this team, is my recollection. The Lakers, I believe. And let's hope James and Davis, one of them, sit out. Who cares? I like the way they're playing the Pistons lately. They're winning some games. Forget about covering. They've been impressive lately. Fun team, and you got to give the coach. It takes time. Look at me, Gurus. I started this show, 3 months ago, and the first week we just were doing a show. I wasn't even going out handing out cards or doing anything, meeting people. Everything was about. And then as I realized that wasn't going to get it done, I had to start getting out there and marketing the show. And that's when you probably first met me, some of you. And then I got sick again, and then that's why I haven't been out as much. But I went out lately again, and we're starting to pick it up. But you have to do everything. I have an advantage. I live in Vegas, so I can meet people. But I've always had that advantage. Meaning it's always been a blessing. So you can't. It is. You just got to treat it with respect. Do the best you can, Gurus. And anyway, so in fact, Mark just sent another. NBA is red hot. You're right, Mark. They are. They're red hot. They're red. Yeah, we're on fire. It feels good. This is an exceptional run. 6-2 yesterday. It must put us at least. I don't even know. It's pretty good. About 34 and I think 9. That's probably about right. Something like that. 8. 9. That's good. We need to keep it going. But thanks, Mark. Yeah, we are everything. It's good to be. And again, we talked about that yesterday, Gurus, on the show. Enjoy the moments, right? Enjoy the day. Take it in. You want to celebrate wins. And I do spend a little more time when we're winning. I think we should. But I also spend time, as you know, Gurus who've been with me. when we don't. And if it's on me, and it has been, I've said it. I've got to do better. I told you that a week and a half ago, and look what happened. So I know, but that's not out of choice, gurus. I don't choose to do better. You just, you go, life gets difficult for different reasons. And then when you're, this is an inherent risk here. You can't turn on and off winning. You just hope everything you put out is enough to make money. And for Mark and I, it usually is. So, and that's what we're doing, but you still have its inherent risk. You could have a bad day, not a bad week, but this is a good time. We have games to come back with if we lose. And so we'll do back. Thanks, Mark, for that. We do go back to the games, and then we'll finish it up here because we only have one round robin today, but there's 4 games. We hit one yesterday, and maybe we'll keep this thing going. It's possible. And as far as investing, gurus, we talked about that yesterday. I usually spend a minute or two every show talking about investment strategies. So I'm your guide. I'm providing you the strategy of what to invest in and how to. And then also you use your knowledge of your own, what games you like and mix them up. But we've been doing really well. And I told the gurus, just after the 9-0 day, just wake up. You don't even have to look at them if you don't want. For right now, you have this advantage. Take it. And I have no problems because I'm documenting all this. So, that's going to help me in my business. I can promise you that. Just keep documenting positive days and helping people. It comes back to you. And, you guys have been sending nice messages and stuff. But I'll tell you, if you share the show, like, subscribe, it's free. And then you follow me on Twitter, on the x.com and the TikTok, x.com. It helps even more. But I'll take, we're trying to build our following here, and we are. And we all want it to be, by tomorrow. I get it. But we also have to do everything we can to expand it. And I'm trying to do that too. But I really need your help, gurus, is what I need. And honestly, to make the show solvent, we have to get there. I have to be able to afford to do this. I've been doing this. I've invested in this to get this out. We have to pick it up on the other side too, Guru. So get that done for me. I would appreciate it. I'm going to keep going out meeting people, and that'll help too. I like doing that anyway. That's part of building your brand, building your business, and we're going to maintain that. So Nevada is, and and Nevada's a late game. They're all 3 are later games. The Magic are early. And so, I don't know. If the Magic lose, does that mean these 3 have any better chance of winning? There's 2 things to look at. We've been winning at a high percentage, so there'll be some softening there at some point. And then the situations, it's hard to say. These are teams that some nights don't play as well, but you see that with a lot of teams. But, we can't, as far as team structurally, these teams can fall behind and not have enough personnel to get back. You could say rent more consistently. So who knows what'll happen, gurus? As we've seen, we're winning in both sports, road, home, big conference, small. It really hasn't mattered. Bad, and bottom teams, top teams. And that's the sign of someone who's probably a good handicapper, right? Who's really a professional. He says what he says. He backs it up. We don't have that anymore in this country, gurus, right now. We have Mr. Trump running, and that helps a lot. But that's why I started this show, because I want to be the standard now. I'm not going to let these people mislead people on these shows. They don't know what they're doing. They're still talking about the Super Bowl, for Christ's sakes. It ended it. So great game. And I think look, if you don't know anything else, you should probably still be. I'm not saying they're wrong, because a lot of people don't, maybe I know gambling isn't for everyone, but I know a lot more people are doing it. And I've always envisioned from the beginning that if they could click to Guru before they make that decision, then they have maybe another person they can depend on, right? That actually gives them good advice and maybe helps them not to bet as much on a game. That's what I'm here to do. I'm a consultant. I've been through it all. Most of you who are following me are half my age now, right? That's okay. I say on the strip to people, I'm that uncle, that rich uncle who gambles, right? And they're like, Rich, we don't have any, because your gamblers aren't really supposed to have, but I'm not. But my point is, I'm their uncle who's like into sports gambling, if you want to call it that. And we make jokes out there about stuff, but they don't. Generally, most people don't follow this for 25 years like I have plus, and actually helping people. That's an unusual. I'm a very unusual such person there. Now, there's other companies you've seen that have been around as long as Guru, of course, or longer. And that's good if they're helping you win. I said, do what you got to do. You should, but you'll always be back here with me. I know that because I really have, and I'm the CEO here. I don't, I don't censor what I'm saying to you. I say whatever I need to. It's my personal understanding, and get your own show if you want to have your own. I'm not telling you what to do or think, but I am helping you, and that's what I'm here to do. And these are our picks today, the ones that we already put in, and then the ones you guys have now. You can buy off three if you want with Orlando, because three can be a close game, be a fun game to watch. Like I said, this Oklahoma City team is interesting, very interesting team. And they're better than Oklahoma. I mean, than Orlando. They already beat them, but so we'll have to see how that goes. We got a little room at home, and Portland's they've been playing okay lately. They're a tough team to bet on, but they've been helping us. They have, especially at home, Gurus. We've done it. They've held everything's been holding its own and winning everything. Pistons, again, they've been winning home or road. And we just hit a good bet with Nevada on Friday. So why not come back with them? This team we beat, I think it was San Diego State, if I remember correctly, Friday. That was a great game. I think State's a great team. So I think we can beat this team as well, meaning if they could beat them, why couldn't they win this game, Guru? So yeah, I like Alfred at home in this spot. They have good fans. That's up there in Reno, place I used to go to a lot before the China virus came. Hopefully that'll be changing. Hopefully you get around. One day, Gruz, I told my producers and other people, my inner circle, that I want to do a road show and go to each state and do a show out of it, meet the people there. And I think that would be completely awesome. So we're working for things like that. And I'm at a place in my life where I can do that. So I'd like to before I, won't feel like it or it'll get harder, more difficult. So, but right now, gurus, I like what we have here. We have I'm becoming dependable for you, right? I told you I want to be on as much as possible with you, and that's what we're doing that now. And so everything I said was going to happen is going to happen. I've also told you we're going to be successful, right? We're going to be global, and we will. That's going to happen because when you can do excel, when you're exceptional, that eventually everyone wants some of that, and that's what life's all about, Cruz. That's why you follow some cooks more than others. They're exceptional to you. They teach you things. You learn. I've learned how to be a better chef or a cook, if you will. I follow certain people. There's short videos like mine, and they teach me different and ingredients for different dishes I haven't prepared, or they teach me how to make the ones a little differently. So that's the beauty of technology, right? Is that people like me are accessible to you, and you would have had to meet me in a sports book, which you've done anyway, right? But you have another vehicle to meet me, and some of the people that have been meeting me, of course, they're probably betting. If they're not, I'm sure they've started by now, right? And I'm sure they're happy with what's going on, and they should be. And we get more viewers, but we got to grow, gurus. And I'm doing my part for you, and that's what I can control. And I try to grow on my social media when I can't be out there. I answer questions on X, and from First Take and Tom Brady. I'm following him, and I leave messages. I told them how well we're doing lately, and I told Stephen I'd be happy to debate him, and I know what that would look like, but maybe he wants one day he may be foolish enough to try that. We'll see. I don't really care. The games do the talking. He doesn't even bet, right? He thinks he's smart for not betting. We'll see about that. Because I know one thing: if you're handling gambling in your life as far as sports wagering, I'm not going to get into the other ones, but I'm just speaking about what this show's about. Then I believe life's a little better. I feel that way, Cruz. I like to see how I did at the end of the day, compare. It's challenging. We want to be challenged, right? Some people do board games or crossword puzzles or games on their phones. Some of you are playing poker on your phones. And so we all like to be challenged, and that's good, some of us. And that's fine. So here we go. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. To me, as long as you're out there and you're moving life, you're lucky. This is a blessing. This is a privilege here. So we're going to keep going, gurus. That's what we're going to do. We got to keep making it rain, right? We got to do that. So here's how the week's going to come, gurus. Um, let's see here. We are going to do a show to Wednesday. We always do a show Wednesday and Thursday because there's so many games. I don't know about Friday. We'll see. I do, but for sure Wednesday and Thursday. I like to do this on Friday because it sets us up for the weekend, and that's good too. And I'll see about maybe doing a show Sunday morning for college basketball. We'll see. It is pretty. It's game day. I should technically I should do a show every day once the football season starts. I have to be careful. My age. I got to make sure to take care of myself. But I don't see why that would be a problem by then, gurus. Why wouldn't I? If I can, I'd love to reach out that way. So, and we'll see how this thing goes. But I plan on this should be very successful. It'll be a fun ride we go on, and baseball will be fun too. So we'll figure that one out too. But anyway, go ahead and put this in. Remember, I'm your guide, so keep doing what you're doing. You know yourselves. Follow the guru, right? I know I'm getting it done. That's what we need, and in a very solid way. And I'm happy about that, guru. So. There you go. I've been showing it. It's been up. This is our only round robin today. I might post 2 3-teamers on TikTok and X. I'll have to see. I'm leaning one more game, and I'm leaning another one if maybe. So I might do 2 videos, but this is definitely the 4. I know I'm going to be betting from what I know right now. I don't see that changing. So that's why I wanted to share it with you guys on the show. And I will add those 2 on 2 3-teamers instead of the 4 on these videos. So stay tuned for that. Set your alerts. Make sure you get the videos when they come out because they've been helping you win, and that makes me happy. So, and I don't. Oh, so I don't do a show on Saturday for the new viewers. We don't do it because there's too many games. I just release videos. And Sundays, we used to have a NFL show that's ended, and I haven't decided whether to do it for baskets yet. It may not be a bad idea because there is action on Sundays. The problem is the college games start early, and if I have early games, I would miss those anyway. And it's hard, honestly, gurus, you want to do a show as often as you can, but there's time you have to. If you don't have enough games, take that time off. But I'll cross that bridge when we get there. And I think what's important is we focus on tomorrow because the board gets bigger. It doubles tomorrow, then it triples the next day from today. So it gets heavier and then it quadruples on Saturday. And it's a lot of work, viewers. But we have about two major big weeks of Saturday bad. I'd say 3 weekends, 3 more Saturdays. And then the board starts cutting in half because of the conference tournaments, right? We have the team who loses is eliminated. So we'll get through that. And then it'll be pretty smooth in the dance. There's games Thursday, Friday. So I'm going to do a show each of those days. And we'll have to see what I have going that day. Maybe I won't do a show one day if I don't have enough games. But we're going to do a show minimum Thursday, Friday. And I probably will do one Saturday, Sunday because it's the tournament. And these are things I'm kind of planning with you guys now. And you can comment on that if you want that. I think it'd be good for not only you, for you and me to do that. And I'm open to doing that, gurus. Because you have to understand it's the volume of games that we have to look at, Mark and I. It makes it impossible to do the games, to do a show when it's but as this season progresses, there's less games, then there's more time for me to do the show. And so we can figure that out. And I would have no problem with that because I think it's a great time of the year, both the conference tournaments and the dance. But I like all times of the year. I've learned how to handicap all of them. They're all a little unique in their own way. So with that being said, Grewers, we gave out the 4 teamers. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. We have that running through the whole show because again, Gurus, this is fine. How can you help, Guru? Just find people, share the good word. And that helps my show grow. Then everyone wins that way. And that's what I need your help. So, and I'll keep doing my job. Um, so we got that going on. And I shoot again. I just talked 12 to 1. So plan on being obviously tomorrow and Thursday are big days. And who knows, Friday, usually we do something to set up for the weekend. So plan on the next 3 days. I shoot noon to 1 every day live. And that's why you see some technical errors, right? But that's okay. This show is always going to be live. I believe it. I think we should be live. Why not? What the hell are you hiding? I'm not hiding anything. I think spontaneity is a gift. It's what life reacts that way. It changes things. It changes normal and routine, right? Now, we don't like it when it's bad, but you can't have it both ways. But I do like the live show, and eventually I'll have guests here, gurus. I'll do interviews and all that stuff. And we will. That's going to happen. And, because people want to share with exceptionalism with other exceptional people. That's how it works, gurus. We share our videos, we share our business, we share our followers. Eventually, that's how we do it now. That's the way it is now these days with technology. So I'm trying to follow the rest of the world. And I've always been an entrepreneur since I was in my mid-20s. And this is no surprise I'm doing this. And I'm glad I am. So again, Gurus, celebrate the win. 6-2 yesterday. Solid. We had a 4-teamer. Made that will never, ever be routine. That's exceptionalism. I want you to understand that. And I'm proud of that. But that's exceptional. It really is. I've been doing this a long time. So maybe we come back with it today. Or I come out with 2 3-teamers. But at least you have this for now. I will figure out later what we're going to do. If that changes, I will post the 4-teamer if that's all we have. Whatever we decide is what will happen, gurus. But again, I want to thank you guys for being here again. And I'm glad we got a good run going. So let's keep that positive cash flow going, right? That positive energy. You come back to the guru, he'll make you feel good. right? We talk about other things that I try to give you good from my experience. Any way I can help you there. So just help the guru out by subscribing and sharing it. And come back tomorrow at noon, gurus. I look forward to seeing you then. I want to thank you. I love you. God bless you. And I will see you tomorrow.